Welcome to a brand new edition of the J&J Toy Giants YouTube channel Toy Unboxing. I am your host, JD. We got a fun-filled, action-packed, another banger toy unboxing that we're going to be going over with you. In just a moment, you'll see what those are. But we wanted to say thank you for all of you guys that are returning to watch us. And if you're actually joining us for the very first time, thank you so very much. We do appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch us. Be sure to look at our playlist of any of our other video submissions that we've done before. We got toy unboxings, we got toy hunts, we got Funko Pop reviews, Twitch stream replays, and also we've just recently started a TikTok exclusive. If you weren't actually on our TikTok live, we actually replay that for you here on the channel. We got all kinds of stuff for you to watch for your entertainment viewing pleasure. But let's get to this toy unboxing that we got coming up. Let's see what we're going up with next. That's right, my friends. This is going to be a brand new toy unboxing of the Superpowers Retro Line Walmart exclusive from DC McFarlane. I was able to get all of Series 2. So the first one that we're going to be going over is The Flash, as well as former Robin himself, but now the leader of the Teen Titans. And that's right, it's going to be Nightwing. And this is going to be the Dick Grayson Nightwing, part of the Series 2, Wave 2, I should say, line of the Superpowers. And finally, we're going to be unboxing the Amazon Princess, none other than Wonder Woman. And we're also going to be going over one of the biggest Teen Titans villain, and also a villain of many DC superheroes, Deathstroke. So definitely going to be having some fun here with the Wave 2 of the Superpowers line, DC McFarlane. And so yeah, without further ado, let's do it like we always do. We're gonna let them breathe.
It's your lucky day. I can show.
That's right. So we're going to start first with the person that we introduced last, that we're going to be unboxing, and that's going to be none other than Deathstroke himself. This is the actual outfit that he wore when he was first introduced into DC Comics. That would have been the new Teen Titans issue number 2 that came out in 1980. And then there was another comic series, was Deathstroke Terminator, that I remember reading as a kid. But yeah, I mean, essentially these particular figures, like I went over before when I did the Wave 1, these are pretty much just kind of like a nostalgic kind of a piece, because of the fact that they don't really have that much articulation. You know, they got the articulations in the knees and in the arms. The elbows don't really, there's no articulation on the elbows or anything like that. Obviously you can move his head, but these are pretty much for the old school people that were really into the Kenner line when they came out back in the 80s. And so, you know, these pretty much would be equivalent to like a Marvel Toy Biz figure. I know that when the Batman 89 came out, Toy Biz did have the license for that. Although there were some older Batman figures that were under the Kenner line before. So, I mean, it's pretty much as basic as they come as far as like what Deathstroke loving. They did a really good job on the color palette as far as what Deathstroke had in the new Teen Titans number 2. So you can see the cover of the issue here. But yeah, I mean, he does come with a sword, and that's pretty much it. No other accessories. The C-grip hands, that he only has one C-grip hand on the right hand, but a fist on the left. No extra hands. Obviously, you can see the hands don't come off or anything like that. The sculpt on the face is actually pretty good. You can probably see that right here. The actual part of the mask doesn't move or anything like that. It's just molded like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's really not much to say about this specifically, how the figures, how articulated the figures are, I should say. So with that being said, let's go to the next one. All right, so this is going to be Barry Allen, the fastest man alive, the Flash, the Scarlet Speedster. I did make an error, so I do want to just fix that when I introduce the figure. So this is actually part of Wave 1, based on how, if you can see the back of the actual card that this came in. This was from the original wave that had, like, you know, Darkseid, Joker, the Joker Who Laughs, and Superman, Batman, and all that, Green Lantern. I was mistakenly thought that this was part of Wave 2, but it's not. Because if you look at the back of the card on the second wave, it does show all of the previous figures, including the Flash, but he is numbered with the original 6 that was out. And of course, then the only new wave essentially was Nightwing, Wonder Woman, and Deathstroke. The Barry Allen that they have, obviously the old school Flash. This wasn't the new school Flash that we see like later in the 90s and whatnot, but no secret hands because he doesn't come with anything for him to hold, so they don't really need that. Articulation is the same with the knees, you can see there. No pinless joints. I don't think they would have went that far as to kind of like go with pinless joints. I'm surprised the new wave didn't come. I think it was just maybe a Hasbro thing that the windowless packaging that has been the talk, or the big talk of big debate, rather, I should say, of the figures being packaged because they were trying to, you know, save on plastic so they would, you know, for the environment. But I mean, that doesn't really hold a lot of water to me because there are some plastic that's made out of recycled plastic, you know, that it is recyclable. So, you know, it doesn't really hold any water as far as like windowless packaging. However, I did hear that Hasbro is actually going back to, now don't quote me, I did hear from the Major Wrestling Figure podcast that they heard, at least Matt Cardona heard it through the grapevine, that Hasbro is going back to the bubble packaging like they used to have before. I haven't seen it yet. Well, you know, the figures will be the answer whether or not they will, you know, time will tell on that. So, but I personally love the Flash. Big fan of the TV series that was on CW. I think it's just finishing its final season, season 9, I believe. I mean, if you get anything over, I would say 6 seasons, you're pretty much a very successful TV show. Generally speaking, and this is what I've read, is that in order to be able to kind of make any dividends or what in the business they call like residuals, you have to have at least 100 episodes. So like if the show was picked up on syndication, or if it was picked up by a streaming service, you know, like maybe Netflix or Amazon Prime, if they have over 100 episodes, or they have it on syndication like TNT or whichever channel during cable, you can get like a royalty check for however many, you know, episodes that they run when they put it in as kind of like a rewatch. That's with the streaming services have now been a little bit better as far as like rewatchable, because now a lot of people are not going with cable anymore. Back in the old days, before streaming services, you know, they would have syndication where any local TV station could pick up the series, show at whatever time they wanted to, but you can get, you know, royalty checks from any type of like old episodes. But I'm just glad that I have the Flash. I didn't get him originally when I had the original toy unboxings that I did with these figures. I don't think that they were around if they were out, or they just didn't have any. Otherwise, I probably would have had it right before that. But let's go to the next one, part of Wave 2. So the next one we're going to be going over is none other than Nightwing, former Robin, Dick Grayson, now known as Nightwing, and he is the leader of the Teen Titans. He does come with 2 C-grip hands, as you can see, because he has the Eskrima. I hope I'm saying that or pronouncing that correctly. The Eskrima sticks, which is pretty much his known weapon that he uses to fight crime in. His attire has come through many different versions of it. This is the most recent version, I believe, that during that time. I'm surprised that they didn't go with the old school one. You can see right here of his first Nightwing outfit, and they didn't go with that. Maybe that could have been like an opportunity, because Wave 2 only had a few figures. They didn't have the amount that Wave 1 had, but they could have had Nightwing, you know, as a variant that you can get with Nightwing. That might have been a really cool idea. I think they're still in the early stages of this particular series of figures, because other than the DC figures, the DC McFarlane articulated figures, they really don't have any other type of figures to kind of make extra money with. So like what I mean by that is, I'm going to use WWE figures as an example. So Mattel has the Elites, right? Which are figures such as this. Hold on. With only 2 waves of these particular figures out, they're kind of looking to see if it's going to sell before they go ahead with any other figures that maybe they may have, like variants or chases or what have you. But I think they kind of missed the boat on that. They could have also done that with the Green Lantern or Batman. More so Green Lantern, because there were 2 different people. So they didn't have the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. They had the African American version. His name escapes me for the moment. All right, so I just wanted to get to make this example a little bit better picture wise. So you have Red Hood, which is the DC articulated figures, right? And that was pretty much the only thing that they were going with. I mean, I know they had like the Imaginext figures that came with some of that, but I don't really count that. These were the only other ones that I know of that they had out there, which this is a Walmart exclusive, like I said before, that they had to kind of make some extra revenue from as far as figures are concerned. So with that being said, that's right, John Stewart. I just had a brain freeze for a moment. I just couldn't remember his name. So instead of the Hal Jordan, they got the John Stewart. They could have gotten like a chase or variant to have a Hal Jordan to go along with the John Stewart. You know, this is kind of certain things you think about as a collector. You would look at or think about these things. Why didn't they do that? But you never know. They may very well still come out with a Hal Jordan DC McFarlane, you know, superpower line. Who knows? I haven't seen any more news on the newest wave, that would be wave 3 of these figures. So who knows exactly who else are going to be part of the next wave, if they even have a wave. For those of you, if you are watching this video and you are in the business as far as like toy making, you know, shoot me a DM and just explain to me, kind of like, explain to me like I'm a 4-year-old, how these particular figures work. Like if when they decide to do a new line, are they going to be contracted with DC McFarlane to do like at least 3 lines, or just only do 2 and see how it does, and then they'll go with the 3rd wave? You know, so let me know. Or even if you guys are collectors and you know exactly how this works, let me know. I just want to learn, so I know, you know, later as to why certain figures come out and why certain figures don't. It's always good to learn. For those kids that are watching out there, you always learn everything new. You always want to learn something new every day. You know what I mean? But so let's go with the final figure of the night. Be with you in a moment.
I've saved the very best for last.
That is right. The last one we're going to be going over today is none other than Princess Diana, better known to everyone as Wonder Woman. Now, right off the bat, now if you guys remember watching the video that I did, Superman and Batman, you'll notice that I remember talking about how when you take the figure out, because they both had capes, that it automatically made me a little bit upset because they had a plastic, this little thing of plastic that was kind of sewn into the cape. So when you took it out of the bubble, there was no way that cape was going to come out unscathed, where like it would have like a little hole on it. And so if you didn't catch that, just go back to, put the video on pause, go back to the one that I had with the first wave that I did. I'm going to leave a little link up here you guys can see. That click on it and it'll go back to that video. But you'll see that I did say that I had to cut the little plastic thing and then left a little hole there. I think maybe they kind of, if they got like a lot of people talking about that or any kind of backlash, and that's why they didn't do that this time, or they maybe just kind of knew about it, you know, already after the figures were out, like, oh well, they're already out, we're not gonna stop and make new ones. Although if they did like a running change, so for those of you who don't know what running change is, basically like they released a figure, they knew something was wrong with it, or they just need to change something, and it's the exact same thing, but they just re-release it and with the fix, whatever they needed to fix on it or change. The most recent one that I know of that was a running change that I could, you know, talk about intelligently is the retro Ghostbusters. I've mentioned it before, where when the retro Ghostbusters from Hasbro, the cards had where it says who you're going to call on it, that slogan, and then I'm guessing they must have had an issue with the license where they couldn't use the slogan who you're going to call, and therefore they did a running change where it didn't have that on it. So that's what a running change would be. So this is pretty cool. Now it was kind of funny that because they didn't have anything to kind of fasten the cape in the bubble, it can move. So like I don't know if you saw, but when I was introducing the figure, the cape was kind of like upside down or something like that. But it is removable. You can take it off if you want to. I'm going to leave it there. One, it's really weird that they have a C-grip hand for her, but she comes with no weapons. No lasso or anything like that. Not that I can think of. I want to double check right now. Double check the packaging. No lasso, which is kind of weird in a way. Like I said, that she has a C-grip hand, but no weapon. And you'd think that she would come with her lasso of truth because that's her weapon. I mean, they had the Eskrima sticks for, I was going to say Robin, but Nightwing. But why no lasso of truth for Princess Diana, Wonder Woman? You know, it's one of those things that kind of head scratcher. But her head scan is pretty cool, pretty good. This is not quite the 80s Wonder Woman, but close to it. You know what I mean? Nothing really. We got the peg joints here on the knees. Nothing I can really say that's bad about the figure, but you know, just some things that kind of make you think about, well, why they do this. But other than that, Ming, is pretty much it. Thank you so very much, guys. And for those of you that, again, have not watched the original wave that I did, go ahead and go back to that video, and be with you in a moment. And that does it for this edition of the J&J Toy Giants YouTube channel, Toy Unboxing. Again, I am your host, JD. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also comment on any of our video submissions on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and then follow us on TikTok. Also follow us on Twitch. Hit that notification bell so you never miss anything that we actually upload new to the channel. Thank you so very much. Be safe. Keep on cruising.